welcome back to In This Corner. We just had Mayhem Miller on the program, and we want even more mayhem. We want things crazier than ever on this episode. So we decided to go into the biggest trend-setting, everybody, it's on the tip of everybody's tongue when you talk about the Tiger King on Netflix. And we have an integral part in the whole story, the man that pretty much, in some part, brought the Tiger King down in a very, very big way. We got the Jetski King, Mr. James Garretson, of course, owner of a jet ski company down there in the Keys and down in South Florida. And James, it looks like are you in a strip club right now?
Yeah, I am. I'm at a strip bar here. You got the stripper pole right here in the background.
Man,
that one spins
I
too,
love
man.
It.
We're just lacking the women, because the place is closed.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Got the UFC back there. Obviously, they're showing the fights there as well. So it gives us that MMA tie-in that we needed, which is crucial. How are things going down in South Florida right now? Obviously, the pandemic has piped down a little bit. How are things going?
Man, it's pretty slow. The Keys, actually, where I live, it's closed until Monday, June 1st. So everything's been, we're like a gated community right now, but it's about to open up Monday. So maybe life will get back to normal.
Yeah, and speaking of the COVID-19 and the pandemic, a lot of people, when they talk about the Tiger King, they say, it all happened right at the right time. When people are at home, they need something to do, they need something to watch, and all of a sudden you got 7 episodes of this craziness that happened in Oklahoma. And would you say that you've benefited more from the pandemic or you've lost more from the pandemic?
Well, I mean, for the show's standpoint, definitely benefited more, because, people didn't have anything to do at home, so they wanted to watch all of us people, and so a lot of people watched it, and it's just kind of overwhelming right now.
Yeah. Yeah, but obviously it probably took a huge toll on your water sports business in a big way.
Oh, yeah, it did. I mean, it definitely hurt us, but we're going to pull through it, and everybody else is going to pull through it, and, things will get back to normal. But, being the Tiger King thing, maybe some financial benefits will come down. Who knows? Yeah,
who knows? But we'll dig into that. And speaking of financial benefits, I know, you and I got acquainted through Facebook, and I shot you that message, and I'm like, dude, get on Cameo, and not only get on Cameo, but do it from the jet ski. And it's going to be crazy. And I think we can assume that it's gone pretty crazy.
Yeah, that actually pulled my business through it, doing those cameos. I've got like 15 or 20 to do today, and it's pretty cool, man. I can sit on a jet ski out in the middle of the ocean and talk to people. I mean, I love it, actually.
Yeah, I can tell you have a good time with it.
I have no filters, so whatever shout out they want. I've broken up with I've broken up couples already with it, and called somebody a minute ago, and got paid $99 to do it. I'm down.
Oh man, I dig it, man. Anybody out there that's watching this, get on Cameo and check James out, and break up with your boyfriend or snitch somebody out. Do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna have to wear a bulletproof vest after all this. After all this stuff like Cameo. I'm sure people are gonna want to kill me.
Give me a quick backstory just on you, man. Obviously, you got into the exotic animal game. It's something, it's something you like in your life. But before that, man, tell me a little bit about James Garretson.
Well, I started out with the exotic animals when I was 17. I bought a lion cub out of the Dallas Morning News paper in Dallas. And
wow.
I was stupid, bought a lion cub, and then I've had cats ever since, tigers and lions and camels and lemurs, and I pretty much still have animals I still have animals now, and it's a hobby of mine. It's a passion, kind of like MMA. It's just a passion of mine. Some people collect dogs, I collect tigers.
Well, let me ask you, at 17 years old, you get a tiger cub. Now, I've watched enough of the shows on Animal Planet where, people get these tiger cubs. Obviously, they get bigger. They either have to get rid of them or they get attacked and killed or, some crazy stuff. Did you have any, some pretty serious close calls in your day? I would imagine you have.
I bought this lion cub out of the Dallas Morning News paper, and You know, she was mauling everybody, and I had not a clue how to take care of her. And I finally hooked up with somebody that, you know, trained animals, kind of worked with them for a while, took my animal to their place, their facility, and, you know, had her for, you know, she passed away when she was 22 years old. So
Wow.
I stuck it out, you know. I didn't, you know, I've got scars to prove it. You know, I've been mauled by everything too. So, you know, you know, seeing Tiger King, we're all kind of our own way, you know.
I mean, I think you can surmise that to everybody. Everybody has their own stuff about them. You know what I mean? I know I do. I know everybody does. But it is fun. It was a really entertaining watch, and you really got to see some realness about what's going on in that industry. And I don't think a lot of people knew anything about that industry going into it. In fact, I didn't even know that we had one down the road in Myrtle Beach. You know, the Doc Antle does. And
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know anything about that was even an option. I go over to the Middle East a lot for fights, and I know a lot of guys over there have tigers, and they have lions and that sort of thing. But I didn't know it was quite so widely known, and that there were so many people here in America that have, you know, big cats like that.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of people like Mike Tyson. He had tigers for several years. You know, a lot of celebrities do it. You know, I do mine because I actually love the animals. You know, I do it for different reasons. Some people do it for status, and I'm just not all into that. But, you know, there's a lot of people that have exotic animals in the country, you know. And, you know, if you do it right, there's nothing wrong with it, you know. If you do it right, you know, I don't see a problem with it.
No, I don't either. I don't either if they're being treated right, and we will get into that because that's obviously a big part of why you were inserted into the whole story with the Tiger King. You've done a lot of interviews now, and I looked on YouTube and obviously a lot of podcasts. I mean, heck, you got Chris Jericho interviewing you. That's a lot of fun. Really cool.
He was cool.
Yeah, super cool guy. How often are you recognized on the street now or in your store? Like, how much has that ramped up, and does it just blow your mind at this point?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not used to it. I mean, obviously, I've never been on TV, not in a good way, you know. Maybe on, you know, when I used to do dumb shit, you know. It's different, you know. I'm not used to, you know, people asking me to take a picture with me, and, you know, I get recognized a lot. You know, I'm a little fat guy, you know, I'm real recognizable, and, you know, everybody's just like, hey, Mr. Garretson, can I take a picture with you? I was like, sure, you know, whatever. It's all new to me, you know. And now I'm starting to be offered, you know, like little roles, riding my jet skis and different projects, which I do it anyway for a living. So why not?
Why not? Exactly.
I'll
Why
bring
not,
the
man?
fucking jet ski wherever, you know, if that, you know, if somebody wants to pay me to ride a jet ski, I'm down.
I feel like if it hasn't been proposed to you yet, that you're going to be in a Sharknado before it's over. It's going to happen.
It's crazy, you know, and the cameos. I mean, it's kind of overwhelming, you know.
Yeah. Is there anything you could tell us, like off the top of your head, that's coming up, or any cameos that you're doing?
Well, we're still doing Netflix. There's a couple more episodes coming out.
Yeah.
And you know, I think I play a part in that next week. So, you know, we're still doing. You know, it's going to be interesting. I don't know what way they're going with it, but, you know, we're definitely doing some more Netflix.
That's awesome. Then,
you know, I think there's a stripper reality show that might be coming out soon. We're gonna pilot for it. So, you know, just kind of my life in the strip bar.
Listen, I know a guy that used to DJ at one of those places that
we need
looks just like me.
Yeah, we're looking for some you know, some stripper castmates too. So, you know, any really hot girls, you know, send them over. Because we're gonna put this thing together, and it's gonna be a fun show.
It's a part of my life that I don't go back to very often, but it was there. Yeah. It's gonna be in the book regardless.
Yeah, you can still come on cameo in it or something, you know.
Oh man, it may have to happen. Are you surprised that Joe Exotic's become a folk hero? Like that it's gone that crazy that people are wearing T-shirts and everything you could think of Joe Exotic, considering what was uncovered. It's like they didn't watch that whole last episode or that last two episodes where they're saying he killed this cat and he killed that cat. And obviously you've said that as well. But people are just still throwing it right there on their chest and just flaunting it everywhere.
I don't see how people, you know, prop this guy up. I mean, this guy did some awful to a lot of animals and people, you know, and, you know, that's what pissed me off the most about this whole thing is people propping this guy up, you know. load in his pockets when, you know, he's just in my opinion, he's an animal murdering piece, you know, so that's just my opinion. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy to me, but I mean, he is a colorful character, you know. He is strange, you know, people like that weird, you know, with the husbands, and definitely not my cup of tea, but people, you know, bought into that. You know, I probably get 50 to 70 hate mails a day, people, you know, calling me a snitch and free the Tiger King or free Joe Exotic. You know, I get that shit all the time, you know.
Yeah.
Not in person, you know, just online. You know, people in person, you know.
Well,
I've never been approached in a negative way.
Well, you know, like I saw in one of the interviews, and I think it may have been the People TV interview, where you talked about Joe, and you're like, you know, I hate to see somebody go to jail, and you guys used to have a decent relationship. Then obviously you learned about some of the things that he did. So, so I see you on one side, and you know, I see you all the time on Facebook and some of the things you say and the Tiger Queen and all that stuff. But then I see kind of another side where he used to be a friend. How do you toe that line a little bit, man? Like, how do you sit on it? Do you really hate the guy's guts, or is it one of those things that he just needed to be in jail?
I hate what he became.
Okay.
I mean, the guy started out with good intentions. I'm not going to say he didn't. He started out with good intentions. But I don't know if it's the Baskin stuff that drove him over the edge, but he totally 360. So, you know, I know a better part of him, but I mean, he turned into basically like a monster. I don't know if it was because all the lawsuits and, you know, the financial strain, because that does screw with people. So yeah, I mean, it's hard to put somebody in jail. I mean, I don't really didn't want to put anybody in jail, you know?
Yeah.
If I had it to do it all over again, I probably wouldn't even cooperate because, you know, I didn't think about the aftermath, you know, the hate mail, this and that. And, you know, I get people calling in complaints to the fishing game about me, you know, selling tigers, you know.
Yeah.
We're just getting out of hand. But, you know, it is what it is. You know, I don't agree with that long of a sentence probably, but, you know, I have no control over it.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. I got to ask you about Jeff Lowe. You know, I'll be honest with you. We were trying to make that episode happen where I was going to have an interview with Jeff Lowe because I actually did an MMA event back in the day at like his shipping warehouse of all places. Didn't put it together till later on when I was saying to myself as I'm watching the Tiger King, I've met guys like Jeff Lowe. And then I had a friend of mine's like, dude, we did a show in his shipping warehouse. I'm like,
yeah,
wow, okay. You don't like Jeff Lowe at all. Now, it seemed like at one point, if I'm following right on the Tiger King, you guys were kind of both coming at Joe Exotic at the same time. No pun intended there. That's gross. That being said, I know we're in a strip club and everything. But
I'm not. Hey, man, I'm straight as can be. I'm straighter than an arrow.
But what I'm saying is, seems like you guys were kind of on the same page at some point. Were you guys ever friends? And why has it gotten to the point where, like, you just hate this dude? Like, because it seems like there's no love there.
You know, I hate arrogance, you know, and he's so arrogant, and you know, he said some things in the past that he shouldn't have said, like he set Joe up. Well, that's not even the case because Jeff Lowe could have been arrested at the same time Joe could have been arrested if he wouldn't have cooperated. So that kind of stuff pisses me off because it makes me look like I conspired to set Joe up, which Jeff Lowe, a year into the investigation, or when I was dealing with the feds, Jeff Lowe didn't even know about it. So, you know, he's made some sayings out there in public that aren't cool. And, you know, karma's a bitch. So, you know, I don't agree with all the overbreeding and all that stuff. So I'm just not on the same page as him now. You know,
have you heard about how he's handling the zoo now? Like, I'm sure, obviously, you know a lot of people back there. Have you heard how that's going? And obviously, I haven't been over there, but I know he's running the zoo. How's that going from what you've heard?
Well, I mean, it's probably not going good because you got hundreds of animals that require a lot of money, and the facilities there are minimal. You know, so it can't be good. You know, it's not like they're ever going to build, you know, give each tiger an acre or 2 acres of land. You know, they're shoving in these 20 by 30 cages. you know, a lot of small cages, and you know they're continuing to breed. I'm not cool with that. I mean, I'm not cool with that. You've seen one tiger, you've seen them all. Why keep breeding and breeding and breeding? You know, I'm just,
because they have to go somewhere. You're absolutely right.
yeah.
I mean,
So I'm not cool with all that. And you know, but Jeff Lowe didn't, and I'll back Jeff Lowe up too, but he didn't steal the zoo. 2 years prior to all this Joe stuff, Joe and his mother signed the zoo over to Jeff, so Carol wouldn't get it. So Jeff Lowe never stole the zoo, you know, like we're saying he did. So Jeff Lowe already owned the zoo. So you know, there's a lot of misconceptions and stuff out there. You know, it's just crazy.
Okay, well, I got some viewer questions, so I want to get in on that. Oh, and by the way, on the Jeff Lowe thing, you said you actually want to have the fight, right? Like we can make that happen. They do celebrity fights, we could do it.
I am down. So you just tell me when and where.
You know? As long as I get to ring announce it and commentate.
All I'll do, you know, I'll lift a couple cheeseburgers. You know, I'll be in shape, so I'm good.
Hey, there's a lot of good fighters down there in South Florida. I can get you hooked up.
Yeah, no training required there.
Okay, so I got some viewer questions here. All right, so we got about 5 here. So Stan McGill says, what else did the feds have on you? He says, and this is funny, you're the biggest snitch since that Tacoma 6'9" kid, which I'm guessing he means Tekashi 6'9", but he called him Tacoma 6'9", like the truck, regardless. So he's asking, was there more than just the stuff with the monkey or whatever? Like, what else did the feds have on you that you had to snitch?
The feds never threatened me with anything.
Okay.
You know, I saw the animal killing. Call me whatever you want, but whenever you're calling an innocent animal up to a fence, shoving a shotgun in his ear and blasting it, I draw a line. You can call me whatever the hell you want to call me. I did that for the animals. I didn't do it for Carol Baskin.
No,
so,
I hear you.
You know, I'm cool with all that.
No, absolutely. I completely
and I don't even know who Tekashi or whatever. I mean, is that the guy with all the colored in his hair?
Yeah, the one that's in all the memes and stuff in court. And,
let's talk about that snitch question again. So I wasn't the only snitch, okay? John Finley came forward. Jeff Lowe came forward. Alan Glover came forward. Everybody in Joe's camp snitched Joe out.
Yeah.
I just helped seal the deal because I went to court and testified when a lot of others didn't have to. So even his own husband snitched him out because, you know, he was feeding his husband meth. He kept him on drugs to keep him in the relationship. So, you know, everybody snitched Joe out. And nobody at court came to his defense either. Only one PETA representative.
Yeah, I know, of all people, which is bananas, right? Okay, so Chad Pennington asked, who plays you in the movie or the series? Do you have anybody in mind you think that should play you?
Man, I'd like to play myself, actually.
Okay.
What better person to play me is myself, you know? Man, put me in that role, man. Make that happen.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens. It sounds like that thing is happening for sure. They got Nicolas Cage as Joe Exotic. That's a thing that's happening. Thoughts on that?
Wouldn't that be awesome to co-star with Nicolas Cage, man?
Of course it would. I'm a fan of Nicolas Cage. I love Nicolas Cage. That being said, Jeff Baker asks, would you be willing to make an appearance on the Kapow wrestling show called Carol Baskin's Killed Indie Wrestling? I think that's probably in Knoxville, Tennessee, if I had to guess. So,
yeah, I'm down.
Okay. All right.
Hey, I don't know if you've seen that AEW, the Chris Jericho's deal, but I was in that called the Bubbly Bunch where I got punched in the face by Eddie Guerrero's wife.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That was pretty cool. Yeah, so I'd get beat up in person too, you know, if somebody wanted to beat me up, whatever.
Well, I'm sure he's watching this right now, so I'll put him in touch. Jeremy Bowman says, whose idea was it for the jet ski scene that keeps getting replayed and put into memes? And whose idea was that? Was that yours or was that part of the production?
No, that was Eric Good, the producer's idea. He was like, hey, James, get on the jet ski and ride around, you know, go past us real fast. And I didn't know what he was going to do with it. You know,
it's magic. It's magic regardless.
There's another episode and they want me to do something else. So you got to watch that one. So they're asking me if I'll drive something else. So it's going to be crazy.
Final question. And I think I know the answer to this one, but I'll ask it anyway. Greg Huddle asks, do you put money on Joe Exotic's books in jail? I'm guessing that's no.
Hell no. Well, I mean, yeah, no. I don't think so. I haven't talked to him, but I thought about going in there and visiting him, but I don't know if that'd be a good idea either. I don't know if he'd come out and see me.
That's funny. Well, I got to do a quick MMA tie-in before we get out of here. You're a huge MMA fan. Who's your favorite fighter? I mean, when you look back, who's the guy?
Man, I always liked my guy was Frank Mir, pretty much, And
Yeah.
I like all the old guys, I like Vitor, and I like all the old MMA fighters. I mean, I liked it when, back in the day when they didn't have rules really, but I mean, I like Amanda Nunes. She's probably one of my favorite female fighters. I like Masvidal. I mean, I've got a lot of them. I mean, it's crazy these days.
It certainly is. And then, they're talking about, and I'll get your prediction because this will come out ahead of time. So they're talking about doing Anderson Silva and Conor McGregor around the July 4th. I guess it's July 11th UFC. It's always one of the biggest ones. Who do you think wins that fight, Conor McGregor or Anderson Silva?
Oh, man, I got to go with Anderson on that. Conor's too small to be fighting at 185.
You would think. But Anderson's a little punchy now.
Conor has a big set of man. So
that he does.
You can never count that guy out. I mean, I thought
the red hair.
Yeah, I thought Cerrone was going to get him, and he did, and he just annihilated him. So
yeah,
I mean, I don't know. I would have to say Silva on that, but you never know on McGregor.
No, I lean a little bit towards McGregor just because he's younger. Dude hits really hard, and Silva is on that tail end to where he can get clipped, and it could be trouble. And he's bigger, but they're not that much taller than each other. I mean, and McGregor has really big reach as well, which a lot of people forget about. The dude has long arms.
Yeah, how tall is Silva?
I think in the realm of maybe 6'2", something like that. Yeah, probably in that.
But, I mean, he is 45 or whatever years old too. So
yeah,
I don't know. But Silva, man, I like his Rich Franklin days. Man, he was a beast.
Well, I know you were trying to get to the UFC, get in front row on that show. Obviously, no fans there. Are we going to start seeing you? Are you going to be one of those front row guys that we see?
I don't know if I can afford the front row stuff, man.
Maybe 4 or 5 rows back.
Man, that's a lot of cameos to get a front row ticket.
You'll be on that jet ski all day long, dude.
Maybe Dana can hook something up, man.
Very, very possible. I don't know if I can make those calls or not. I'm there, but I'm not quite up to Dana level yet.
It's crazy.
Awesome.
You're going to be Joe Rogan one of these days, man. $100 million podcast.
Well, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It all starts here, possibly. Well, James, man, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day, hanging out at the strip club.
Oh yeah, but there's no women here. It's all it's closed.
That's crazy. Yeah, well,
thinking about doing one in Orlando that's open.
Jet skis and strip clubs. Period. I mean, does it get any better than that? You still there?
But I appreciate it. Sorry about that. Somebody's trying to call in.
Oh, it's all good.
All right, man. Thanks a lot, Cyrus.
No, see you, buddy. And there he was, the walking Chucky doll. What an awesome interview there, just talking to that guy, a huge MMA fan, and obviously known around the world now because of the Tiger King. And that will do it for this episode. You can go on our official YouTube page. You can watch full interviews right there. And I'm Cyrus Fees, and we'll see you next time on In This Corner.